got my hands on another W7. What an absolutely legendary driver this is. And I'm about to show something that quite a few people are going to be confused because they had no idea. These are an extremely intelligent design, truly, because the cutout on these is right about 7 inches, which would have you thinking, oh, the surface area on this can't be that big. It's under the normal sort of cutout you'd have for an 8, which is like a little bit over 7. I think it's like 7.5, 7.7, something like that. No. Let's take a look at the edge of surround to edge of surround on a Dub 7. Something like that. We're right about 20 centimeters, maybe a tiny bit over. Let's say just like, we'll say 20-ish centimeters. All right, let's grab another 8. Here is another 8. This is bigger than the standard cutout, significantly bigger than the Dub 7. However, the outer surround to outer surround on this guy, we're going right about there, we're hugging it. It's less. And this is a slightly oversized 8. And it is less. What about the Z series? Here is the monster. It needs recone. This is one I haven't reconed yet. But what's the outer surround diameter on this guy? To make it easier for me, because it's such a tall surround, I'm just going to take the top assembly out and just measure from these 2 points in here, because that's right about where it ends. So it's going to go out here. So the Z series ends off somewhere around about there. Something like that. So about the same as a Dub 7, maybe a little bit more outer diameter. Now the excursion on the Z series is ginormous, and so is the power handling. It's got a lot more linear excursion as well. So the unfair comparison, but my point is, people think the W7s are like little tiny, oh, it's a baby SQ subwoofer, it can't get that loud. It fucking can. Little voice crack there. It definitely can. These have, if you've seen videos on these have an exceptional amount of excursion as well. You can use the whole surround on it and they don't deform, which is a nice little plus too. They did a great job with the geometry on this. The only downside to these subs is the power handling sucks. It's a 500 watt RMS coil. That is an appropriate rating, and it's a Kapton former. They can't take a bunch of power for long. They can take fucking gobs of power if you just burp it, but so can everything. So that's not really impressive. But however, that does mean, because they have so much travel, they can displace so much air, they can get very loud. This on a burp, not on music, not for a sustained period of time, but on a burp, this will take that zero flex. A single one of these will do a 146 at 18 hertz. This will take that zero flex. Again, on a burp, if I was doing music, I was to play it for like more than, 30 seconds, I would smell it badly and I'd probably damage the sub, which, have you seen the price point of these things? You don't really want to damage them. Okay, yeah, they're expensive, they sound great, but people forget, these are actually fucking monsters of 8s. Seriously, they are. Again, look at the top assembly on a W7. It's quite big. It's quite substantial. Nowhere near as tall as this. This has significantly more excursion in terms of peak-to-peak travel, but even then, this really isn't that far off. Look at pictures and videos of these moving. They move like crazy. And for people who just can't wrap their head around it, yes, cone excursion, cone movement, displacing the air, that's how you get loud. If this doesn't move, you're not going to make any noise. It all originates from this going up and down, back and forth, which, out the box, this is a brand new one. Quite stiff. My other ones were like, floppy. Cursed. Oh my god! Shout out World's Deepest Bass for this video here. It's about 8 years old, but this shows it perfectly. The W7 it's not a sub to be played around with. It's a great driver, and it's old as fuck too. Like, I don't know what the engineers at JL are doing, but all they need to do to just bring it into nowadays is just make it beefier, make this a little taller, somehow make it so it doesn't deform. I don't know the geometry behind that, but they nailed it here, so they can probably figure it out. Taller, make it so it doesn't deform. Probably make this a bit deeper, bigger motor, bigger coil, more excursion, more power handling. Hooray. If this was like 800 watts RMS to 1000, it would just, that's it, done. Happy days. A little bit more peak to peak excursion, you got a winner on your hands. It's already a winner. It's just very pricey. And unfortunately, it's not really what most people are looking for, right? 500 watt RMS coil, don't push more to it. And if you do, you're probably going to blow it. They're capable of getting very loud due to the amount of displacement they have. They're great at everything else. They're also very pricey, so they're out of a lot of people's reach. And I think the price point is what makes people hate on these and talk them down significantly. I can get this 8 with a gajillion watts RMS compared to this one. Yeah, this guy would have more displacement though. So technically you would need less power on this to get the same output level, and this won't be working as hard as the 8 that has less area. Which I know it's technically counted from middle peak of surround or whatever. I'm not going to go through that because my measurements will probably be off and someone will complain in the comments. However, outer peak to outer peak, it gives you an idea. That aren't the biggest hands involved, mind you, but it's a big 8. Anyway, yeah, they're monsters. I love them. Do not be surprised when it goes in the car and does a good number on a burp. On a burp. Keep that in mind. But still, I mean, they're gorgeous.